Hey everybody, and welcome to the channel and to the Ultimate Racing League. This is our Sunday evening challenge, our most popular league that we run at Ultimate Racing League. We are at week 8, so only 2 rounds left after this one, so it is all getting very, very tense now. We're with the League 4 guys in the Group 4 NSX, and this week we are in Italy. I shall go on about the track in a second. What I do want to do is just say a massive thank you to our sponsors, W.GG, the energy drink for gamers, and also to Eldridge Air Conditioning. Thank you guys for sponsoring us and helping us out this year, bringing the races to us. Now, I'm going to go down the league because it's getting really tight, both at the top and the bottom of the league. So we're going to have a quick rundown. So this is how they stand going into today's race. At the top, we've got Wayne G, or Too Fast for You's, on 219 points. Harry Poppins in second on 216, just 3 points separating those two. Frowny is in third. He's only 9 points behind Wayne G. Fourth is Scotty Mick on 186 points, and Big Dan in fifth on 178 points. So it really is getting tight up at the top. Likewise, down at the bottom, in 12th is Phaser on 56 points. He's joint with Ninky Noo, also on 56 points. Castrian in 14th, he's on 50 points. Hopper's on 45 points. And Captain Slow on 35 points. So again, only 21 points separating the bottom 5 as well, or the bottom to the 5th, 12th, you know what I mean. So the point situation is really getting tight now in the league, so it is all to play for. The other thing is, we do have 4 drivers missing from today's race, and Big Dan is one of them. He's up there in 5th position at the minute, and also Frowny sitting in 3rd, so some good points to be had. Now the guys are missing because URL actually celebrated its 4th birthday this week, and the guys had a bit of a party at the weekend, and unfortunately these 4 had one too many glasses of bubbly, so were deemed unfit to race today, which is a bit of a shame, but I'm sure they enjoyed the party anyway. And happy birthday to the Ultimate Racing League for this week. What a fantastic achievement, and well done to everybody who works hard in the background to get these races done, and I'm sure everybody on track appreciates it. Anyway, on to today's race. We are at the Autodrome Lago Maggiore. I hope I've said that right, in Italy. We're on the full layout, but it is in reverse. Now, I've said this before, it doesn't mean we're going to reverse around the track, it just means that we're going the other way around it. So we would normally be going anti-clockwise around this track. We're now going clockwise. So it's 3.6 miles, 17 turns, quite a technical course, and well, a few of the corners are blind corners actually. So it makes it even trickier. So the guys have been out, they've done their 10 minutes qualifying. So we're going to run down the grid now and see how they all stack up. So on pole position, what a fantastic view. Look at that, the mountains in the background. This track is actually set on a lake. I can't remember what the lake's called, something, well, it's obviously going to be Maggiore, isn't it? But it's set on a lake, fictional track, set on a lake, and what a fantastic view. Anyway, back to the race. Wayne G on pole position. Scott is just behind him in second. Molepiece is third. Phaser is in fourth. Good to see Phaser up there in amongst the leaders. Harry Poppins is fifth. Enzo Jack is sixth. Pete is seventh. Aussie Rooster eighth on the grid. DB is ninth. Bazza is 10th. Captain Slow 11th. And Hoppers is 12th. So only 12 guys on the grid, as I've mentioned. The other 4 still nursing hangovers. We shall get this race underway. We will have a chat as normal about tyres and rules, etc. as we go along. So 12 laps, roughly 25-ish minutes. Tyres in this race, it is an out and out sprint race, so tyres are just going to be the softest compound. Get around as quick as you can, and that is pretty much the rules for race one, as Wayne G takes us up through the first turn. It's quite a sweeping uphill right-hander which leads you into turn 2 and then immediately slings you over to the left for turn 3. Scott in second, Molepiece in fourth, and Fazer in fourth, just behind Molepiece. It looks like Fazer's coming under attack from Hairy Poppins already. Hairy Poppins trying to put the pressure on as they start on down the hill towards turn 7. Hairy Poppins, let's jump on board with Hairy Poppins just to show you this turn here. This is turn 7, a really tricky turn. You can see Fazer making a move on Molepiece and gets it done. Hairy Poppins is following him through as well. Molepiece just on the right there, he's got nowhere to go really, he's a bit boxed in. Hairy Poppins is now on the inside as we approach turn 8. It's a bit of a chicane, this one. It's the left and then immediately a right, which then throws you into turn 10, which is a right-hander, and then again into the left, onto the left, and then a right. So quite a technical part of this track, avoiding that wall on the left. Molepiece now slotted it in behind Hairy Poppins. Fazer, he seems to be enjoying this track, doesn't he? He got himself up into fourth on the grid, and he's looking quite comfortable out there in third at the minute. What a fantastic view. I keep mentioning the view, if only that's real. If anybody knows if that's actually real, let me know. Looks a great place to visit. Obviously Italy is a beautiful place anyway, but this looks stunning, doesn't it? Anyway, back to the race. I'm getting all caught up in the scene as Hairy Poppins takes us around the final couple of turns, 16 and 17, to complete lap 1, and then it is across the line to start lap 2. So starting at the top, Wayne G not really managing to pull a bit of a gap at the minute. He's got Scott sitting there behind him. Fazer just losing a bit of touch with the guys in front. He can see them, he doesn't want to let them get too far away. Hairy Poppins is just sitting behind Fazer. Molepiece in 5th, everybody spreading out a little bit now. Pete and Enzo Jack having a bit of a battle for 6th position as we're going around turn 3 and 4, but Pete still sitting there in 6th, Enzo Jack 7th, Bazza in 8th. We've seen Bazza has some pretty fantastic races of late, but sitting down there in 8th at the minute. Maybe this is not the track for him. It's not a track that everybody likes, to be honest. Not one of our usual ones. Captain Slow in 9th. Hoppers has made his way up into 10th, with DB down in 11th and Aussie Rooster in 12th. Well, I'm not sure what's happened to Aussie Rooster because he is a long way back. Let's see if we can find what happened. No, we've got to go back too far really. So unfortunately for Aussie Rooster, he finds himself down in 12th, and it's quite a long way back for him now. Still only on lap 2, so 10 laps to go, but that gap is quite a big one for him. So back up to the top, Wayne G still out in front, still got Scott for company. Scott is just not giving up on him, is he? He's going to keep chasing Wayne G. Like I say, it's a long race. We've got another 10 laps to go, so no great rush at the minute for Scott, as long as he can just stay in touch with Wayne. Hairy Poppins has managed to get by Fazer, so Hairy Poppins has moved up into 3rd. Sorry we missed that one, but Fazer just dropped down now into 4th. He was sort of losing touch with the guys in front, and I think Hairy Poppins decided he needed to get by Fazer so he can try and catch up to the 2 guys in front, otherwise he will end up losing touch with them as well. Hairy Poppins obviously looking at the podium. He is 2nd in the league at the minute, just behind Wayne G, so another reason for not letting the 2 guys in front get too far away. Some good points to be had today, with Frowny and Big Dan especially missing. Castian and Ninky Noo, they're missing as well, and Ninkinu down in 13th with Castrian in 14th, so it's a chance for Captain Slow and Hoppers to get up above them and get out of that drop zone. So Phaser in 4th for Team Lucky Strike. I've mentioned before that I'm not biased at all, and but I really want Phaser to do well for Lucky Strike. So far having a good race as well. I think Phaser will be pleased with this, sitting in 4th. I know it's early days, but he seems to be okay on this track. As I say, it's not a track for everybody, but Phaser seems to be enjoying it. Pete in 5th, with his teammate Molepiece just sitting behind him now, coming under attack from Enzo Jack. Let's go on board with Enzo Jack as we chase up towards turn 8 and 9, the left and right. It's like I said, a bit of a chicane. Oh, and a great move from Enzo Jack. We're just going to go back and have a look at that. Oh, we got too far, never mind. A great move from Enzo Jack on Molepiece, if we see it. The cameraman will catch it. So as Molepiece goes through the first section and the cameraman decides he doesn't want to watch the racing after all, but a great move from Enzo Jack. Oh, we've got a yellow flag up ahead and I can't see why. Oh, maybe Wayne G. What has happened to Wayne G? Now I'm going to go on board with Wayne G, or go on to Chase View anyway, because we don't want the cameraman messing this up, do we? Scott putting the pressure on. Well, Wayne G's just slowed right down. You can see he's got no input at all, so there's no power. Oh, I don't believe this. Is a disconnect, is it, from Wayne G? Well, I'm not sure what's happening. He does seem to have some. Oh, it is. It's a disconnect, I'm sure, for Wayne G. What a disaster for him. That is not what he wanted. He's trying to get it all sorted out. He's all over the place. He'll be on the radio to the technicians to try and get them to get this sorted, but what a disaster for Wayne G. He drops him all the way down to 8th, and we still don't know if he's sorted. It doesn't look like he is, so I'm going to leave him to it, and we're going to watch Scott, who has now taken over the lead. I bet he couldn't believe his luck. I'm sure he wouldn't have wanted to take the lead in those circumstances, but he's there now. Scott out in front with, I don't know, probably about 2 seconds or so gap back to Harry Poppins in second. Phaser now up to 3rd with Pete just sitting behind him. Then we've got Enzo Jack, Molepiece and Bazza. Well, the cameramen are not brilliant, are they? As Bazza goes up the inside, as on turn 1, he goes up the inside of Molepiece, gets that move done, so Bazza moves up into 6th. Molepiece drops to 7th, but slots in behind Bazza. He's going to just have to try and sit there in the slipstream, maybe make his move as they get onto the long straight between turns 7 and 8, but this seems to be where the fight is at the minute for 5th position. Enzo Jack holding it at the minute, but he has got Bazza and he has got Molepiece chasing him down. Oh, Bazza just kicking up a little bit of grass there as they go up to this. Yeah, it really is a tricky section, turn 7. It's uphill, there's a bit of a camber, but these guys have made it look easy so far. So we're just going to drop down the order and see who's where. Captain Slow is in 8th now, DB is 9th, Aussie Rooster is 10th, Hopper's 11th, and Wayne G, well, he is moving now, but he is down in 12th, and let me just have a look. I think he is, yeah, he's about half the track, maybe more behind Hoppers. So Wayne G, I don't think he's going to recover from that. If he does, it'd be an absolutely outstanding race. But I'm sure Wayne G just wants to get the technical issues sorted so he can get himself ready for race 2. So we'll leave Wayne G to hopefully start making some progress and catch up. Current fastest lap held by Scott, our race leader at present, a 2:07.1. And he is looking comfortable. He's got Harry Poppins behind him, but there is quite a gap between the two of them. It's I would probably say about 4 seconds or so now. So is Scott pulling away? Well, I think he may be. Harry Poppins doing everything he can to catch up. Sitting in second, Phaser in third. Come on, Phaser, I'm rooting for you all the way. We want a podium out of you today, Phaser. It's long overdue. Bazza in fourth. Always looks good, doesn't he, Bazza? Had some fantastic results just lately, and he's looking, well, he looks like he's on a mission now, doesn't he? He's after Phaser. Enzo Jack just behind Bazza. As he chases him up. Well, is it up? Yes, it is. It's up and through turn 7. Then this long straight between turn 7 and 8. It's about 800 metres, roughly half a mile. Great overtaking opportunity, as we saw earlier with Scott and Wayne G, although there was a bit of an issue with Wayne G's car. And then it's into, well, it's almost like a double chicane, a left to right, left to right. A great section of track, the usual way or the normal way around, but very, very tricky section of the track this way around. Same as this turn here, turn 13. It's you're going downhill and you're having to turn under braking and then try and get on the accelerator to go up the hill. So again, another very technical corner. It looks easy, but it certainly isn't. As we're following Enzo Jack around turn 15 now, up towards the last two turns, 16 and then 17. And just incidentally, as you come out of turn 17 and get onto the straight, if you have a look, and we'll see it with Enzo Jack now, just to the left of his car, you can see where the cameraman's standing. That there's another little invisible wall like you get at Daytona. And if you get too close to that section, you will end up smashing into it. I know, because I did. But it's like an invisible one like they have at turn 1 at Daytona. So one to look out for if you do ever race this track. But Pete in 6, he's still got his teammate Mopeace just behind him in 7th. Captain Slow 8. Everybody very spread out now. If you look at the map in the top right hand corner, there is no real battles taking place, unfortunately, so we are just going to be watching these cars just drive around and round in circles. I think Wayne G doing his best to catch back up, but I just don't think he's going to get anywhere near them. I mean, good of him for keep going, but he's not going to catch them, is he? Scott, I think that gap is extending now back to Harry Poppins, so Scott looking very, very comfortable. Race is under control. Dictating the pace. And he's not under any pressure at all, so he can just, well, he can actually enjoy the view, can't he? Harry Poppins for Team West. He's in second position. He's got no pressure from anywhere. He can just concentrate on trying to catch up to Scott. Phaser in third still, although we can just see Bazza in the background, so come on Phaser. Quite a steady lap, so a 2:10, 2:9 and a 2:9, so he's about 3 seconds off of Wayne G's pace. Wayne G has now got the fastest lap, a 2:06.4, so he's about 3 seconds off of Wayne G's pace, but we do know Wayne G is extremely quick. In fact, let's just have a quick look at everybody else's pace. Scott is on a 2:07, 206 on lap 5, but 207 average. That's good consistency from Scott, and that's why he's up there leading this race at the minute. It's all about consistency. Harry Poppins, he's about a second slower than Scott. He's on 208s again, all very consistent. 208, 8, 8, 8. So his last 4 laps have all been 208. Fazer, who we've just looked at, in the 9s. Bazza, he's well, I think he's averaging about 8. He's got an 8, a couple of 9s in there, an 8. Enzo Jack, he's around the 2.9, 2.10 mark. Pete is about, well, that's very, he's all over the place with his laps, isn't he? An 8, 9, 21, 8, 8. So I think we'd give Pete an 8 or a 208, 209 for lap times. Molepiece around about 209. Captain slow, definitely slower. 11s and 12s with DB in the 10. So DB should be catching up to Captain Slow. He's definitely putting in quicker laps. Aussie Rooster the same. He's 10th. He's doing about 2 10s. Hoppers, very mixed bag for Hoppers. And then Wayne G, really starting to get it together now. That 206.4 on lap 5, a 207 was the last lap. He just needs to look at this as qualifying now. A bit of a practice for him. Try and look after the tyres as well. You can see the damage on the front of that car after that disconnect he had. So back up to the top, and we're following Scott. Was only Scott going to lose this, I think. Nobody near him, and well, he's actually got Wayne G is not that far ahead, so could the absolute unheard of be witnessed, where Wayne G gets lapped. Scott is on a mission. He is just not he's not letting it up, is he? That is very consistent, those lap times. So yes, we shall see. We'll keep an eye on that one. Harry Poppins in second, all on his own. So the nearest we've got to a battle then is Fazer in third, with Bazza just behind Fazer. Let's jump on board with Bazza, shall we? Let's get in the car and have a look from a driver's eye view as we go into through turns 10 and 11. Then around 12, down the hill, avoid the wall, which I think Fazer may have just clipped there because it slowed him down, but they've gone down the hill towards turn 13, going as wide as you can so you can cut in, and then back on the power, trying to keep control of the back end up the hill towards turn 14. And this is what I mentioned about the turns being blind. You can't really see the turn. There it is, but you've got to be on the brakes before you get to that point. So a few of the turns are blind for the drivers. Go into turn 16, which then immediately throws you into turn 17. Pinch a bit of the apex there, avoid the invisible barrier, and then across the line to start lap 9. And Bazza getting closer and closer to Fazer. Come on Fazer, he's catching you up. Put your foot down. Again, a tricky first turn. Up the hill, still going up. Through turns 3 and then 4, it's like a double apex turn. Turn 3 and 4, you treat it as one turn really. Then we start on down the hill, and as we do, we go through turn 5, try and cut the corner a little bit as these guys did. Through turn 6, again trying to nick a little bit of the corner, then down the hill to turn 7, and immediately up past the camber bit, again on the power as early as you can, but trying to keep control of the back end, and then it's onto this long straight 800 meters of it, which takes you into this first chicane section and turn 8 and 9. Trying to avoid that big sausage there on the right, which can upset the car. These guys doing a great job, aren't they, of staying on the tarmac. Bazza seems a lot quicker through that section than Fazer, but Fazer makes up for it in the early corners. Gone very deep there, did Fazer, and I think he's had to hold off putting the power down, and that's enabled Bazza to get up and underneath that rear wing of Fazer's car. So we do have a race on then, Bazza against Fazer. Fazer's got some defending to do, as Bazza now is he's up and all over him as we come up to turn 16 and 17, and then they will cross the line to start lap 10, so 3 laps to go. Is Fazer going to be able to keep Bazza behind him? I'm just going to drop down and have a look. Well, I won't. I'm just going to follow these through turn 1, because this is where Bazza made a move earlier on. I can't remember who it was now. It might have been Enzo Jack. No, he's not got it done this time. Although he is virtually pushing Fazer along, I'm just going to stay with these. We'll jump on board with Fazer, shall we, and have a look and see in his rear view mirror, and we can see Bazza's car right tucked up underneath Fazer's NSX. Now Fazer seemed quite good through this section, so hopefully he can pull away from Bazza, but he's not. No, Bazza's having another bit of a cheeky look on him. Is he going to get it done as we come down to turn 7? Bazza on the inside. Fazer trying to give him a bit of room. It's all about the exit. Oh, and Fazer got a great move through there. Great exit from Fazer. Through turn 7. Now the race is on as Bazza gets into the slipstream. Down to turn 8. Still Fazer in front. Bazza being frustrated by him. Got to be patient though. Pick your moment. Oh, I think Bazza just about got away with that one. I thought he was going to be slamming into the wall, but he managed to recover it. Now I thought Fazer went very deep into that turn, but that's obviously the line he takes. Everybody will do that different. Some people like to cut across the inside of the corner, others will go wide. Fazer obviously likes to take the wider line. Nothing wrong in that. Obviously you do what's comfortable for you. Again, Bazza right underneath the rear wing of Fazer's car as they go up towards the last couple of turns. I am going to have to drop down a little bit just to see what everybody else is doing. Enzo Jack is in 5th. Where's Molepiece? Oh, he's a little way off. Pete in 7th still. DB in 8th. Ooh, DB getting a bit on the grass there at turn 13. Captain Slow is in 9th. Aussie Rooster 10th. Hopper's 11th. And Wayne G in 12th, although he has caught up to the back of Hoppers. So Wayne G will be looking to try and get to 11th. Go back up to the top. Scott out in front looking very comfortable. Harry Poppins likewise, nobody near him at all. But Bazza and Fazer, oh, and Bazza has finally got by. Let's just see if we can see where that was. And it was at turn 1 by the looks of it, as they go through 16 and 17. Fazer getting a little bit of a twitch on there as he came out of turn 17. Bazza right underneath the rear wing, then into the slipstream. He pulls out to the inside as they go towards turn 1. Bazza on the inside. Fazer has to go wide, give him a bit of room, and Bazza gets the move done. So not much really that Fazer could have done about that, I don't think. Bazza had the momentum. Excuse me. But Fazer fighting back though. He's not going to give up that place very easily, is he? He can smell that podium step, can't he, Fazer? Come on, Fazer. Bazza though got himself into third. I really can't see him giving that position up now. I think he's too good for that. But Fazer's going to carry on fighting him. Just a little bit of a gap opened up. So Bazza will be trying desperately to put some distance between himself and Fazer, and you can see there is what, 1.5, 2 car lengths between them now as they head down towards turn 8. Some great racing from these guys. And as I said, I don't think Bazza's going to give up that third podium spot very easily. So Fazer drops to 4th, Enzo Jack in 5th, Molepiece in 6th, PT 7th. Then we've got DB. Everybody, it must be very lonely out there. Always Captain Slow has had enough and decides he'd like to do a bit of off-roading. Back on the tarmac though, and facing the right. Well, I say he's on the tarmac, but he'd have a go on the gravel as well, but he is at least facing the right way. Aussie Rooster in 10th. Not really been the track for Aussie Rooster, is it? It's not like him to be down there in 10th. He's clearly doesn't enjoy this track. Wayne G managed to get by Hoppers and move up into 11th. Bit of a disastrous first race for Wayne G, but hopefully everything is sorted now and he'll be back in race 2. Meaner than ever. Hoppers in 12th, so I mean that's going to alter things up at the top of the table temporarily, because Harry Poppins is currently second in the table with just behind Wayne G, but obviously Wayne G is going to be finishing way down in 11th, and I think he's looking at only around 6 points, whereas Harry Poppins is going to be picking up about 17, so good points for Harry Poppins as we follow Scott on the final lap. I'll just see if we can find a battle. It's still Bazza and Fazer is the closest we've got, or have we got Enzo Jack and Molepiece? As Molepiece has a bit of a look up the inside of Enzo Jack as they go through turns 5 and 6. Enzo Jack still holding on to that 5th position though. I'm going to keep my eye on where Scott is as Scott laps Hoppers. As Scott comes up to turn 14 then. We're just going to stay with Scott as we are near the end of this race. A great race from him. It was handed to him really by Wayne G's technical issues, and I'm sure, as I said before, Scott wouldn't want to win in those circumstances, but he'll take the points anyway, and why wouldn't you? So well done to Scott. Once he got in front, there was no stopping him. So a fantastic win for Scott in race 1. Hoppers finishes in 12th. Harry Poppins is going to cross the line in 2nd. Some valuable points for him, which will push him to the top of the league temporarily. Bazza, after a hard fight with Fazer, has managed to get himself into 3rd and on that podium, and he wasn't going to let it go, was he? So well done to Bazza, across the line in 3rd. Fantastic race from Fazer. I'm really pleased for him in 4th. Molepiece is going to cross the line in 5th, with Enzo Jack just frustratingly a car a length or 2 behind him in 6th. Pete will come across the line in 7th. DB down in 8th. Now, as I say, this track is not for everybody, and I think it's caught a few people out tonight. So there will be some of the guys who will be glad to see the back of this track, as DB brings it home for 8th position. Now we will be bringing you race 2 straight away after this. So please look out for that. If you do enjoy this content, then please hit that like button, and if you haven't already subscribed, if you could do so, that would help me and the channel out tremendously. And thank you to everybody that has already subscribed. I really do appreciate it. Aussie Rooster then finishing 10th with Wayne G, trying to recover after the technical issues he had early doors. He was leading, something snapped in that car, and he's struggled ever since, but Wayne G across the line in 11th. So that was race 1 here at Lago Maggiore on the reverse circuit. Like I said, join me again soon for race 2.